Hi guys, I created this video for my fellow self-taught artists who are probably clueless where to start, how to keep on going, and what mistakes to avoid as a self-taught artist. Being a self-taught artist, at least in my understanding, means that we learn to create art without formal education or training in art school or under a professional teacher. Instead of attending structured classes, self-taught artists educate themselves through various methods such as reading art books, online tutorials, and watching instructional videos. That being said, we could be clueless on where or how to start and how to improve our skills in order to make the art that we've always wanted to create. When I decided that I wanted to be an artist, I was already watching a lot of instructional videos in YouTube and online about painting faces and painting figures, and professional artists actually made it really look so easy. Even though you see an artist putting a paint into a canvas and you copy as what she or he is doing exactly as he is doing it, you'll quickly realize that your version of the painting does not look nearly as good as what the artist just painted. And that's because a lot of those painting skills come from years and years of practice and learning and mastering the basics. And that includes getting really good at drawing. I remember the time I first laid my hands on oil paints and I got really excited. I just painted a random face. It turned out to be so bad that I quickly regretted my decision to become an artist. But then I read a lot of articles and watched videos of my favorite artists. And almost all of them say that one needs to get good at drawing before they can get good at painting. And that idea got stuck in my head, so that's what I did. I started learning how to draw facial features. I remember I will draw eyes repeatedly, like probably 100 times, each and every possible angle. Then once I thought I mastered it, I then moved on in drawing nose, lips, mouth, ears, hair, the human head, and how each facial features come together. Learning to draw, at least in my experience, helped me to practice my observation skills and my hand-eye coordination. By repeatedly drawing the same thing over and over again, my muscle memory improved a lot. As my drawing skills improved, I became more confident to transition into painting. I almost always do a practice sketch. I want to have a clear and strong foundation for the painting before thinking about all the complexity that comes with putting colors into the canvas. Knowing that I have a solid drawing underneath, it gives me a bit of confidence to apply paint and allows me to be more expressive and bold with my brushstrokes. When I became confident with my drawing skills, I started to have more creative freedom to focus on color, texture, and other stylistic elements I wanted to explore. I started to worry less about the underlying structure of my subjects and became more confident to experiment with the creative ideas I have in mind. Speaking of confidence, as self-taught artists, we must have that confidence to get good someday. Not necessarily that we are not good artists, but that we are not good yet. Doing all this repetitive and almost boring work of self-study and self-discipline could be so tiring and frustrating, especially if we're not good enough yet. We must have a confidence mindset to believe that someday we will get better. Every skilled artist was once a beginner. They all started with basic and imperfect drawings that gradually improved through practice. It's a way of thinking for me because even if I have no idea when or how I will reach my artistic goals, I still believe it will happen. Without this belief, this confidence that things will get better someday, I don't think we will keep on going. But of course, it's easier said than done. It could take years, at least it did for me. And even now, I know I still have a lot of things to learn. That's why when things get tough, you must have a positive community around you. I created this YouTube channel for that reason. I wanted to share my art and connect with like-minded people who appreciate art, are willing to get good at it, and share a positive mindset of growth among other artists. Learning on our own could be isolating. We need to have supportive people around us. People who understand the struggle and are willing to motivate and encourage each other when things get tough. So please follow or support other artists who inspire you and motivate you and provide you the knowledge that you need to be a better artist. But please be mindful of how you see other artists as well. Social media is often labeled as being a highlight reel, which means everyone shares only their best moments for people to see. We might find ourselves comparing our lives or our artistic skills to other people online. But the truth is, we're only seeing a small portion of people's lives and rarely see their bad days or bad works. That could create unrealistic expectations of ourselves, and it could affect our mental health. So please be careful on how you spend time on social media. Let other people's works inspire you and not discourage you. See those posts as sources of information and inspiration to get better, knowing that social media is a highlight reel. Watching or buying instructional videos or tutorials doesn't make you a good artist. this was one of my biggest mistakes when I was starting. I got a bit addicted in attending online workshops, especially when they're free, but then I would just forget whatever I learned because I didn't put anything into practice. I didn't even try to see how those information would translate into my own works. I just watched how those paintings were created and thought they were cool, but really nothing was added into my skills. Nowadays, whenever I watch tutorials or attend online workshops, I remind myself to always find more time in doing rather than in consuming. We learn more by actually drawing or painting than by just watching tutorials or looking at other artists' works. I think this is already a given, but you must set aside time for your art until it becomes a routine. When I started on this journey, I used to wake up very early and draw for 3 to 5 hours before getting ready for work. And as soon as I got home, I will draw or paint again. As time went by and as my skills improved, I reduced time for these sessions, but I still tried my best to stay consistent. I'm not saying that you need this much time too. Find something that you think would work on your own schedule. And treat these art routines as important appointments that you cannot miss. These repetitive and sometimes boring sessions will benefit you and your art over time. I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. Please feel free to comment any tips you've learned from your art journey as well. See you next time. Bye.
I've seen your face only once this weekend. You keeping busy, always things to do.